It's great to have you all here on the last day of the forum for a very important discussion on a topic whereby the very title of the session says it all. Health is wealth. Just 3 words, a lot fewer than a tweet, that encompass something very significant about our understanding of the importance of health and healthcare costs in our economies, our companies' bottom lines, as well as individual well-being and happiness. In the 20th century, the world has made incredible strides in fighting disease. Smallpox has been eradicated, leprosy has almost disappeared. We have a global average lifespan that went from 31 in 1900 to 70 in 2008. And in the wealthier countries, we see that the average lifespan has gone from 50 to over 80. So significant strides, but huge challenges remain. We have 30 million people suffering from HIV and AIDS. We have 17 million people dying from heart disease annually. And in the United States, just as an example, 3/4 of our healthcare costs are because of preventable chronic diseases, many of them related to stress. The Belgian philosopher Pascal Chabot called burnout a disease of civilization. And we see the need in the burnout that's affecting blood pressure, that's affecting the prevalence of diabetes, that's affecting any number of other preventable diseases. We see the need to move beyond simply expensive medical interventions and put healthcare, as opposed to sick care, at the heart of the debate. Maintaining health, as everybody has discovered, is a lot cheaper than restoring health.
I am healthy. I am healthy. My mind is positive and healthy. My mind is positive and healthy. I am highly driven and motivated to succeed. I am highly driven and motivated to succeed. I am full of joy. I am full of joy. I am happy. I am happy. I exercise and take care of my body. I exercise and take care of my body. I am dedicated to improving my health. I am dedicated to improving my health.
The Walking for Health initiative is a brilliant thing. It's changed my life, and I think there are lots of people on our walks that will say the same. I know they will.
It's fulfilling, and you see different aspects of people and how they've improved. It's a fantastic thing.
If you can just gather up your courage and just go once, the people around you will encourage you to keep going back. And yes, it's great.
The main advantages are the fact that it's free. You can find your own level, so if you want to do a shorter walk or a longer walk, then that is catered for in the timetable of walks that we've got available, and it's something that you can do yourself. And when you've done something like that, you feel really quite invigorated, and it gives you enough energy perhaps to do more for the rest of the day.
Stress can be managed. It's about gaining control. The thing that causes people the most stress in life are all the things that happen to them where they feel they have no control over them. There's a variety of sources out there, of help out there that you can get if you're having problems, and you should go to them. You can cope with stress by going to friends and talking about problems. You can go to your GP and talk about it. You can go to the counselors. You can have many more counselors in GP practices than ever before who you can talk to. If you don't feel you have a friend, you can talk to that particular problem about. The worst thing you should do is think you can solve it yourself and do nothing and just sit and worry and keep it internal. That's the worst thing you can do. It'll damage your health and it won't solve the problem. Exercise is really important because it kind of puts everything into perspective. So if you had a really stressful day at work, which usually spills over to the home environment if you then go directly from work to home, it's always best, I think, to go off to a gym, go swimming, do some kind of exercise, because it does the break. It puts life into perspective and say, that's one part of my life, but home is another part, and I'm not going to let that spill over there. It also makes you think more clearly about problems you have, because you're chilling out, you're relaxing by exercising.
The back streets of Folkestone, hardly the likeliest of places to find a revolutionary new approach to healthcare taking shape. It may look and sound like simple singing, but only now are its benefits being realised.
We're tapping into one of the greatest things of our culture, that is choral singing, the whole tradition of choral singing.
Professor of Music at Canterbury Christchurch University, Grenville Hancocks, has teamed up with health professional Professor Stephen Clift.
There are different kinds of issues affecting different groups in society, but singing is a kind of universal activity that people can engage in from birth onwards, literally.
And together the two run the Sydney DeHaan Research Centre for Arts and Health. Today they've invited Dr. Maria Sandgren, a Swedish psychologist, to present the results of a new study.
I'm going to talk about a very recent study about choral singing. We made it last year with 218 choral singers in Stockholm. And here you can see the measure before.
She measured their emotional state before and after singing.
And this is afterwards.
It was quite unbelievable. We could see that every positive emotion increased, and I mean the intensity.
Like excited, alert, hopeful, relaxed, harmonic, to be present. One might say that the positive emotions, they increase a lot, but the negative emotions decrease even more. And look at pain. It decreased enormously. Headache.
So we're pretty good at the MOT type activities in health, aren't we? We can replace the hip, and that's great, But it's very difficult to replace the emotional heart.
You folks interested in the free NHS health check we're doing?
I'm quite pro the health check, and I guess I have a very personal reason for that. My own dad was found to be borderline diabetic on a health check. He felt really well. He went because he was invited. I think that the health check has stopped him from becoming diabetic. The NHS health check programme is all about trying to discover disease before it becomes a problem. The health check focuses on some of the really big killers in this country, so heart disease, diabetes, stroke, dementia, kidney disease. And what we're doing is we know that in the early stages often there may not be many symptoms. You may not know about your risk factors.
I never smoked, didn't drink that much, did sport whenever I could, played golf, considered myself quite fit really. My father had a stroke when he was my age, but I put that down to him being a quite a bad smoker and a drinker as well, and he never participated in sport. So I thought I'd be well and truly out of the woods, so to speak.
What you will find is you'll be asked some questions about your lifestyle, so your smoking history and how much you drink will definitely be on the agenda. You will be weighed and measured. You may well have your waist circumference measured, because we know that weight around your midriff is a big risk factor, and you may need to have some blood tests on top of that.
My cholesterol was 4.4, which put me in a good mood. So we then moved on to the blood pressure test, which seemed to struggle to get a reading off the machines. And eventually the result came through. It was something like 273 over 191. I didn't really know what a good blood pressure was. But when I saw the nurse's face, she was horrified. And I think that rammed it home to me that something was seriously wrong with me. I was admitted into the hospital. Straight away I was put onto a drip, because the readings, I think every doctor and nurse that saw the readings, I had a reaction of, wow, okay, let's sort this out. I remember my father having his stroke because I was at home studying for me O-levels at the time, and it wasn't nice, and I don't think my father ever recovered from having that stroke. Since my experience, the men at work have put themselves forward for health checks. There's about 4 of them that have gone for it now that are in the 40 age bracket.
If we do get them through the door, and if we can get them to come for a health check, they are often really good at making those lifestyle changes, and certainly we have seen big weight loss or giving up cigarettes, possibly more often in men than in women.
I was a walking stroke, heart attack victim waiting to happen. I've got 3 children. I think I need to be there for them. And 48 is certainly no age to have a stroke, like my father did.
Make the phone call straight away, and it could save your life.
Fruit and veg are so rich in vitamins, minerals, fibre, and they're low in fat. But what's really interesting is that there's worldwide research to show that eating 5 portions of fruit and veg a day can help to reduce the incidence of diseases such as cardiovascular disease and some cancers. It's really important because what we have in our bodies are free radicals. These are substances that cause inflammatory reactions in our body. Each portion represents 1 serving or 1 portion of your 5 a day.
I don't know, I thought an apple was 1 portion. I don't know, maybe... I honestly don't know, actually.
No, I just eat 2 pieces of fruit a day and try and eat as much vegetables as possible. I guess 1 cup of vegetables is 1 portion. I don't know.
So for example, 1 portion of your 5 a day could be a banana or a pear, an apple, an orange, roughly a handful of grapes or cherries or strawberries. When it comes to vegetables, beans and pulses count once a day, so 3 tablespoons of any beans, such as baked beans or chickpeas or kidney beans. No matter how much you have, they will count once a day, and the reason for that is that they don't have quite the same range of nutrients as the other fruits and vegetables. A bowl of salad, for example, or in terms of salad vegetables, something like a 5 centimetre stick of cucumber, not quite a whole carrot there, an average tomato. Other vegetables, around 3 tablespoons of any type of vegetable will count towards your 5 a day. That would be 1 portion each. And a glass of fruit juice, an average sized glass of unsweetened fruit juice, again will count just once a day, no matter how much you drink, because you have stripped the fruit of its natural fibre. In terms of dried fruit also, about a heaped tablespoon of any dried fruit counts, and even canned fruit will count, roughly 3 tablespoons.
Well, recently I've been eating 5 a day, veg and fruit, because we've got 2 young children, so obviously we're trying to give them a decent diet, so it's made me think more.
I just try and dump as much into a stir fry as possible.